Okay, so James, we'll start with you for Sky Sports News.
Oliver, good to see you. Chris Richards missed training today. What's the latest when it comes to him?
Chris will miss the Arsenal game as well, and it's now 50-50 for him, for us, that he can play the final at Leipzig. So he tore, I think, 2 ligaments in his ankle. Fortunately, we have, I think, 4 or something. So it's stable, but it's quite swollen, and now we have to deal with the swelling. And of course, he needs to get back on pitch to be available, and it will be really a race against time. Yeah.
And how much of a challenge is that for Chris himself? Because, of course, he's got a World Cup to look forward to this summer, but I'm sure he'd be absolutely desperate to play a role in Leipzig if he can.
Yeah, exactly. He's in from morning, let's say from sunrise till sunset, and having treatments and everything we can do that reduces the swelling, and of course, great medical department. So again, we will give our best, and he will give his best, and then let's see if we can get it done.
Huge match coming up on Wednesday, but before that, Arsenal on Sunday. How do you feel about taking charge of Crystal Palace one final time at Selhurst Park?
Yeah, first of all, I want to congratulate Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, his players, staff for huge achievement, winning the title after 22 years. That's right. Yeah. So it's fantastic job they have done, and also special congrats to Daichi. So I think he has taken the right decision to go to Arsenal and not to another club. Yes, it's for us. It makes it a bit easier that the league is already decided, just regarding the questions. So our preparation is the same, because I mentioned it. We have to think, and we just think what's best for us to be in the best possible shape on Wednesday. And this is now, to be honest, when I'm not finally decided what we're going to do. A few things to consider is also the weather changed, and it should be 29 degrees on Sunday afternoon, and also quite hot at Leipzig, so it could be go into extra time at Leipzig. So what's best? Can players play 90 and 120 again within 3 days at the end of the season, or is it better to rotate more? Is it better that players stay in rhythm? And then we have just 5 subs, so we asked for 10, but was not allowed. Many things to decide, but I'm pretty sure we'll find the best way.
You mentioned that Arsenal are now Premier League champions. Is there any sort of relief on your behalf that the title race is done? Because I know you said your job is to be the Crystal Palace manager, but you're aware there's been lots of questions about what team you would select this weekend.
No, I think it was just the evidence. What I said, it's you don't win the league on the last day. Yeah, you have to play 38 games on a consistent high level, and let's say with the draw of City, you could say this decided the league. No, it's the 37 rounds that have been played so far. Every single game decided the title, and for Arsenal's title, there's just one club is responsible for this, and that's Arsenal. Yeah, because they've done an incredible, well job, and that's why they deserve it. At the end, you always get what you deserve, and that's why Arsenal deserves to lift the Premier League trophy. And honestly, I think it was pretty clear before the season started that this will happen, because last year we played on the final match day the league winner with Liverpool, and then this year it was Arsenal, so it was clear when the league started it will be Arsenal. Or us, but...
And I know you said that you've still got decisions to make when it comes to selection on Sunday, but would you think there would be mass rotation with that huge final on Wednesday?
Yeah, I change my opinion 3 times a day right now, from full rotation to no rotation to half rotation, and every starting lineup has positive side and maybe negative sides. I personally have so many negative experiences with rotations. I mentioned this, and let's say one we all experienced this season was Coops and Leeds 2 days later. I started 11 new players within 2 days, and I think it was one of our worst performances at Leeds with, on paper, 11 fresh players. And I had this 2-3 times before in at my other clubs. That's why I think we won't rotate 11 players, but of course it makes sense for a few to see how they are, probably playing 45 minutes each, making 2 or 3 subs at halftime, staying in rhythm, and this is how it looks like.
And finally, I know you always want to give credit to the players, like when Jean-Philippe Mateta got his France call up, Maxence Lacroix being called up for his country, but how does it make you feel when you see Abera Eze become a Premier League champion?
Yes, it was so easy for us because it was either Eberechi or Mark, you know. So, yeah, and Michael at Bayern Munich. So 3 players I was lucky to manage for different periods. Yeah, Michael quite short, Epps a bit longer, and Mark longest for almost 2 years. So, yes, and it's the same. I think they deserve it. So now Eberechi, but it's the same Mark. So Mark won the FA Cup, played already 2 finals, and because they are number 1, fantastic football players. But I know many fantastic football players. But and that makes me proud. I'm proud that I could work with such great people together. Yeah? So ambitious, humble, hardworking, always trying to improve. And I think this is because it's when children look at these players, then they always see probably just the end product. You know, when you go into a nice restaurant, you see the great steak. But how this becomes a great steak, yeah, that's interesting. So why these players are so good. And yes, they're fantastic talent and skills, but the work ethic, their attitude, every single day, work hard, improve, work on your strengths. You know, again, Eberechi's finish. How often he stayed on pitch after training and practiced his finish again, and practiced and practiced and practiced. Yeah, Mark, after training, we trained for 2 hours. I was in my office. Mark was still on the pitch, yeah, practicing, passing, heading, defending, and with staff members. You know, this attitude makes the big stars, and that's why I'm really very grateful that I was able to work with these great players.
Thank you.
Thanks. Sam?
Hello. Does the fact that you've changed your mind a couple of times about rotation ahead of Wednesday mean that there is still an opportunity there for some players to play their way into the final if they play well at the weekend?
It's always possible. It was today in training, was yesterday in training, and players can show up, but of course it's we won't make 10 changes for the finals, because there is now will be the 60th game, and let's say Maxence Lacroix will play if he's fit, even if he has probably not the best training, but he had a good training. But so because it just did so well for in almost every single game, and but it's always, and we will start with 11, but we will definitely end the game with different 11 players. Yeah? So that means probably 5 subs. If it goes to extra time, probably 6 subs. That means 16 players can be directly involved on the pitch, and I can promise you we don't win the game with these 16 players. We need more. We need every single one with support. Of course, we need every single one on pitch, but we need everyone who is not playing as well, because Vallecano is such a good team that we need to perform on the top level.
Sunday's game will be your final one as Crystal Palace manager at Selhurst Park. The obvious question is, what will you miss about the place? And also, which particular memories stick out for you as the highlights at Selhurst Park?
Hopefully the highlight follows on Sunday. I'm always hoping that best is still to come. This will be now at Selhurst, and then hopefully 3 days later at Leipzig. But number one, I will definitely, when you miss, for me, it's when I'm thinking about what I'm gonna miss, is always the people, because the people make something special, not the building or the wall, the light, yes, but it's the people. And of course, it's the people. Are the players, the staff, because we spend so much time together. It's the people there, when I come, it's the security is always waiting for me, and it's a lovely conversation. It will be the fans when I arrive, always asking for a selfie and always having a positive message, what I'm really appreciating. And then it's, we have usually pre-match meal before. It's the chefs there on the way, and the stewards. All these probably little things I will miss, because they are all good people, And then, yes, we go further when it's the pitch. I will miss the atmosphere. It's special, It's tight stadium. Fans are so close, and also our fans are special. I will miss it. The support. And this will be, so again, it's not the seat in the dugout I will miss, because it's a seat, you can change it and it's another seat, but the ones next to the dugout, the one behind the dugout, they're the ones who play in front of you, the ones who support you left and right and in front and behind. These people I will miss, definitely, and that's why I'm looking forward to the last game, having another great 90 minutes together, hopefully a fantastic game, definitely a fantastic game, because we are hosting the new Premier League winner, and that makes it special as well.
Any one match or moment that sticks out though at Selhurst Park?
Yes, many. It's the same. First win against Burnley. Great 4-0 Monday night football against Manchester United, when all of a sudden Michael makes a 50-yard sprint and hugs me. I was really surprised to being hugged by Michael when you know him. Newcastle, Danny Munoz, late equalizer. When I had a 50-yard sprint, I didn't know that I can sprint 50 yards and hug somebody. This is what football makes, the emotions is special. Nketiah's game winner this season against Liverpool, special moment. First European game against Fredrikstad, special moment. And when I now think, it feels like there were so many special moments. There were some tough defeats, I would say. Some unnecessary defeats. But that's also part of, I don't know how many games I will have managed at the end, 120 or something in 2 years, or a bit over 2.5 years. Then yes, I would have preferred having 120 great games, but they were not. And you also have to deal with the defeats, and this is also huge appreciation for our fans in all the games. They supported us, they stood behind the team. And I mentioned it, there were a few moments, a few games where they were critical with us. We deserved it, to be critical, to be criticized, because we didn't perform on our level, but I never had the feeling it was in a bad way. Disappointing, frustration, it's part, and then it's okay, not to let you know. But it was never I never felt it in a bad way, so it was always, hey, come on, we know you can do it better, show it again. It was more, come on, let's go again, and this helped us as well to be back on track.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Ian, talk sport.
You've gone through the memories in your head. When you leave Selhurst Park on Sunday evening, is there one thing you'll take with you? Maybe the sign that says manager's office, or
What is this?
is there one piece of memorabilia, something you'll take with you to remember Crystal Palace by a picture, or the plaque on the door that says manager's office?
No, I hope I will definitely come back, not as a manager, but at Selhurst. So meet nice people. They will. I hope, and I'm pretty sure, because this is with Frankfurt, with Wolfsburg, with Linz. You know, Linz now won the first title and double in Austria. You won't know, but for 61 years, after 61 years, the first title. You know, and of course I'm still in touch with a few people there, and there will relationships will stay even when I leave, and this is for me is more important than a shield in my office, or as I mentioned. So this is and I will have plenty of memories, to be honest, and most of them are positive.
You obviously have still got a trophy to go and win on Wednesday, but you are the most successful manager in this club's history. They probably owe you more than you've taken from them. Is that a fair comment?
No, nobody owes me anything. So again, as soon as I decide to work for a club, and when I decided to sign a contract for Crystal Palace, I sign. It's a commitment, you know. It's a 100% commitment that I will give my best from day number one until my last day. This is what everybody, and this is what nobody owes me anything. You know, this is what I think I feel it's my duty. And this is what I feel I have to deliver. This is what I feel I have to give. I can't do more. Sometimes I would like to give more, but I'm always failing. And then it's at the end, you know, we will all have great memories. Yeah? It's not just the fans. I will have, the players will have, my staff will have. Yeah? And this is on the pitch, off the pitch. We just talked. You know, we had this week, because players had 2 days off, and we had a staff night out in London. It was a great night. It will be a great memory, because Joanne killed me in darts. We'll never forget her. You know, this is what I really like. You know, just sharing a few moments together, and that's why I don't see that anybody owes me anything, or because we won the FA Cup. I didn't do it. I didn't play 1 minute. If you can show me that I played 1 minute, I scored 1 goal, probably. But no, it's again the players do everything. Yeah? And we are a group all together. The players, the staff, the scouting, the sporting director, the chairman, the media. You know, we're spending so much time together, and we are all with one big goal: is being as successful as possible. And everybody works so hard for it. So I think if somebody owes something, then to everyone, not to me. You know, I didn't do more. I was probably a puzzle piece, yes, but one puzzle piece doesn't make a picture.
Finally, then, you talk about going out in London this week. Is there anything about London you'll miss? I mean, have you enjoyed your 3 years in London?
Yeah,
Has anybody ever recognised you?
It's an easy question, you know. I will miss my driving lessons because this stays in England for 3 more months. So yeah, definitely.
I meant like Buckingham Palace and stuff like that.
No, I definitely won't miss the traffic. So no, it's the same, you know. It's London has to offer a lot. So nice city.
Nick, have you got a mic there? Thanks.
Oliver, when you took over, if we'd have said to you, you'll win an FA Cup and get to a European final with this team in the period of time, do you think you knew what your reaction would have been? Would you have said, I can definitely see that, or that sounds fanciful, or somewhere in between?
Did you see it?
No.
Honestly, we never talked about this. When I met the chairman, I met him a few months before I started here. We met us the first time. And to be honest, we were talking about potentially starting in summer, you know, after Roy probably retires. So these were the conversations we had. So also here the club always wanted to end the season with Roy, because Roy is such a great manager and person, and he he did so much for this club. That, and then, like in football, you never can plan anything, and things happen completely differently. And I started in February. But when we talked at that time, it was always okay. What is the potential of the squad? What is the potential of the club? And we all felt there is more potential that has been shown at that time. We didn't talk about winning a trophy, but and this is my approach is getting the best out of every single player, getting the best out of Crystal Palace, and this is what the chairman thought. Yeah? There is still potential in Crystal Palace, in the club. So let's work together. Let's work hard together to get this potential out of everyone. This was the approach, and then we will develop, but we never thought about winning a trophy, winning a community shield, playing European football. But it just shows again, if you don't set your ceiling, much is possible.
Okay. If there are any other questions about the Arsenal game, otherwise we need to move on. Kit, do you want to ask?
No, just when you said you were asked you could have 10 subs for the weekend, did you actually do that? Is that a joke?
Come on, you have English humor. I think English humor. I think, But honestly, this was a joke. But I asked. I thought we tried to move the game to Saturday because this would help us. This would help us for Wednesday, giving us one more day because Vallecano plays Saturday evening, so they moved the game forward. And we thought when the league has already been decided, this is true, when the league has already been decided, but...
Did you collaborate with
That
Arsenal
didn't.
on that?
No, I didn't call anybody, I just forwarded in the club. When has the league been decided? So I can't ask them last week, so of course. It was Wednesday morning, so of course after Tuesday night's game. We were thinking about it before, but we don't call the Premier League and say, hey, move the game. If we don't know if it will be if the title race is decided on the last match day. But didn't work. Short answer.
Just on that, did the Premier League explain explicitly why that request?
No, I forwarded it. I'm talking more to you and to the players now and all, and analyzing Vallecano, and then I don't ask why. They just told me it doesn't work. Of course, there are contractual issues, TV rights, and I think everybody wants last game day, the big celebration, the trophy goes to Arsenal, everything together. I think that's the reason. And again, it was just no. And then we accepted the demotion into Conference League. We accepted. We play Sunday, and I think this year it just feels from 60 games, 50 we had less preparation than the opposition, and then it's just fair that we have the same in the final game.